Hi, this is Ogden Kraut again. Hey, I'm going to tell a story about my father before he went on his mission. He actually had some interesting experiences with John Coyle. Dad wrote a book called John Coyle's Relief Mine. It was about his experiences at the relief mine and what had happened. And it's kind of his first personal experiences. But he went down, and the very first day that he actually met John Coyle, John held his hand out, looked right in my dad's eyes, and he says, "Oh, we've been waiting for you." And they didn't have any room, they didn't need him, and but yet he said, "Make room for Ogden," and so they did. And later, my dad was kind of an interesting individual. He was fun, he had a lot of good times, but he was very strong. He was German. He was very, this is the way it is type personality. And Bishop Coyle nicknamed him Stonewall. And Dad could see things going on in our world and events in our government, events in our church, things that were changing, and they weren't for the better, and things were kind of going down. And so Dad was pretty strong, feelings about that. And so anyway, one day he was sitting there, and he told Bishop Coyle right towards the end, he said, "I really want to go out and go the old way that missionaries went, which was without purse or scrip." And Bishop Coyle stood there for a few minutes, and kind of in his own visionary way, he kind of looked up and he said, "You might just get that, Stonewall, you might just get that." And so, not very long after that, Dad was called on a mission to the Southern States Mission, which is Arizona and Southern California. And while he was down there, when he got there to the mission, that very day, a gentleman walked out of the room, and he goes, "Oh no," he said, "Oscar McKonkie," which is his mission president. He said, "Oscar has just had a revelation, and we're all going to go without purse or scrip." Oh no, and he was kind of upset, and Dad was smiling, grinning from ear to ear, because now he got what he wanted. And so for 2 years, he actually went without purse or scrip. He had beautiful experiences, wonderful stories about missionary work where God just blessed them, and many things happened while they were on their mission. And so the very day that he left the mission field, Oscar got a revelation that it was time to quit going without purse or scrip. So Dad was the actual last full-time missionary for 2 years, the whole 2 years, that went without purse or scrip. A gentleman came in the other day whose father actually was down in the same time as my dad, and he said, "Yeah, I remember that." And my dad tells stories about that, but he was only half the time, like 1 year he was doing without purse or scrip, and then the rest he wasn't. And so that's kind of one, a unique story about Dad, and how he had this type of personality that would pray for things, and they would just happen. And that was how we always, as kids growing up, we didn't have the money, we didn't have shoes, you'd just pray for it, and somebody'd bring shoes over, or bring money, and we'd get it. So we call it the manna principle in our family. That means that we have enough for our needs, but if we want any more than that, well, things go south. So we have sufficient for our needs.